Unreal Engine 6 revealed for Rocket League, of all games. A new patent filed by PlayStation that could cure your boredom. And GTA 6 closing a mod server. So that's some of the stories in this week's gaming and tech news. So let's get into it. But first, it would mean the world to me if you like this content. Please like and subscribe. You can always unsubscribe if you hate me. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first story I want to get into is Unreal Engine 6 revealed for Rocket League. My first thoughts were honestly, was this needed? Obviously, Rocket League is quite an old game now, so an updated engine. It's an online competitive game. And you always hear people complaining when games are revealed to be using Unreal Engine. So I'm just hoping this doesn't damage performance. And I know Epic Games and Rocket League have the partnership, so it made sense for them to probably reveal Rocket League. I do think Epic Games has put a lot into Unreal Engine 6. Their plan is like the Meta Hub, with all games linking together. Game developers can use the engine, link it into the hub, and then you can have a Fortnite skin in one game and it goes to every game, vice versa. So I think it's an opt-in basis if you want to be a part of the Meta Hub, where they see Unreal Engine 6 going. As Witcher 4, I don't think really makes sense to be in the universe. Imagine just a Fortnite skin just running around in Witcher 4 or something crazy, or in Cyberpunk 2. I don't know, that's just crazy. And also, like the Lord of the Rings RPG, that might be Unreal Engine 6 from Warehouse Studios. Imagine that's just in the Meta Hub, but it's still unclear when this engine's going to be released, but Rocket League have said there's big updates coming in the years ahead, so I still don't know. I feel like we could still be quite far away from this being fully implemented. Like Rocket League, I think is going to push like what Fortnite have done with like the creative aspect. You can create your own maps maybe. I know there is like Steam Workshop, but apparently it's like really difficult to create assets for that because of how old the engine is. But honestly, they've been showing images of like the cars in Fortnite with that UI, and I'm like, please don't change the UI. The UI in Rocket League is so iconic. I don't want this like generic Fortniteification font style for everything. In my recent videos, you see the Rocket League gameplay. I've got back into Rocket League and I'm really enjoying it. And also, I'm really sorry for that because I'm also ass at the game. I don't know if I actually like what the new cars are looking like. If they're using the Fortnite models, I'm not against change, and I do think maybe a game like Rocket League is probably perfect because of how old it is, and it is quite a difficult game to keep fresh. As what else can they add to Rocket League? They could add new modes, but do the modes really keep you playing? I think just the reason people play Rocket League is to get good at it. But yeah, that's just some of my thoughts. A lot more companies are going to be using Unreal Engine 6. There is benefits of using your own engines or a generic one, because one, with your own engine you have to teach the newcomers how to actually use your engine, and that can take time and resources. But if everyone's just on Unreal Engine 6, you don't have to have that grace period. So is that, so we might get games more frequently. But I don't really care about frequency, I care more about quality. And if a game is better with using its own engine, you see by Crimson Desert what they've achieved on their own engine. It's unbeatable, and I just don't know. I mean, yeah, it's probably down to the studio. If you're like indie developer, you're probably not going to want to make your whole engine just for your game. And the big studios like Ubisoft, like Bethesda, man, I don't want to talk about Bethesda's engine. You can see their own style, but are we going to get more generic, all games looking very similar with the use of Unreal Engine 6? I don't know. I'm actually weirdly optimistic about the future of gaming, so we'll have to see where it goes. Next! Okay, this next story, PlayStation have filed a patent that could address loading screen boredom, and I'm like, instantly, that sounds amazing. What are they going to do to fix my boredom when I'm loading into a game? The new patent, which is surfaced online, and this is from Insider Gaming, says it's aiming to offer picture-in-picture content for loading screens, making wait times less boring. It will allow you to view different types of content whilst waiting for matches to begin, for example. I'm just like, what? This is not any... I honestly probably don't really care about this. Oh, my TikTok supposed I'm loading into a game. And yeah, I don't think this is the best. I mean, it could be useful to watch a YouTube video on the game you're playing, maybe if you need advice. whilst you're loading into the game or something. Do we really need this? Also, you already know what the future of this, if it gets implemented, will be. Is ads. We can show you them ads whilst they're loading into a game. This is crazy. The money we're going to be making. All executives are just going to be loving this idea. But personally, I don't really want this in my games. I can wait however long. But hey, I might be in the minority. Would you guys want a feature like this? I don't know, let me know. But it's just a pattern, and PlayStation and other developers and companies follow patterns all the time, and it's not necessarily meaning that they're going to act on those patterns, which I think is the whole issue in itself. But hey. Next! Okay, it's time for the quickfire. German media reports says that the EU Commission is deciding on whether to issue Google with a record fine for breaching the Digital Marks Act, with it unlikely to be the last. Apparently it could be in the region of hundreds of millions of euros for breaching the act. And the complaint is saying that Google favours its own services when ranking results. For example, if you search maps, it'll show Google Maps first, or their own shop services, for example, or their flights. And I do think, yeah, they've got a point. Google's always going to be prioritising their own stuff, but what is Google just going to have to sabotage their own services? I don't know. I guess, however the algorithm works, they're probably like, if the user searches this, show our services first, for example. But hey, we just have to see how this develops. And I do think if this goes through, this could create quite a ripple throughout the industry. There's a leaked Lego Skylines game rated in Korea, and a lot of games actually get their age rating in other countries first, and that can like be a way to get leaks of games. But honestly, I haven't personally played City Skylines, and apparently the second one's really bad. But a Lego one? That could be my jam, man. Like, that could honestly be so fun, and hey, I might actually have to check this out, but we don't know much about this, and honestly, I think Lego games are honestly popping off. I've been playing Lego Batman, and it's honestly so good, so I don't think having more Lego games is a bad thing. Okay, recently 007 First Light is released, and it's the highest rated James Bond game in 30 years, so that's good to hear. Honestly, I haven't got around to playing it. There's so many games been coming out, so when I get the chance, I'm going to be checking it out. Okay, the Rage MP mod ordered to shut down from Take-Two, as it's an unofficial server, and Take-Two have sent a cease and desist to the GTA mod server, and their operations were shut down in August 2026. As 5M has become the only authorized platform for GTA 5 multiplayer modding. And I believe this is due to, if you've ever played GTA Online on PC, there's a lot of issues with it. You can get users' IPs, there's a lot of cheaters involved, and I believe they could see this as like a security risk of unofficial servers doing it, so they're just closing them down. But yeah, I do think this does suck, and maybe GTA 6 Online, hopefully it's a bit more open if they get those issues. That's probably why we're getting the PC port a lot later. But I think Rockstar are going to be pushing like roleplay servers a lot. They did acquire a couple companies. Okay, there's apparently a champion ethical hacker who won 2 major prizes in international competitions. And they're saying that AI tools like Claude Mythos could put her out of business, saying that the even champion hackers would soon struggle to compete with them. And I'm like, what? What hope do we have if she's thinking she's going to be struggling, man? It's just like, what? AI's getting too good in certain areas. And yeah, we just have to see how quick society becomes. So we are in weird times, my friends. Who could have guessed PlayStation are closing down another live service game called Destruction All Stars, which launched during the PS5's launch. Servers have been shut down, but those who still own the game can still play the arcade mode and going in spots offline, so there's still that at least. Yeah, so it was delisted and shut down simultaneously. Okay, Google released their new Fitbit Air, but people were complaining that they want their Fitbit app back as it's using Google Health. Because they're using the Fitbit name for the gadget, but they're not using the Fitbit app as the app's name more. Quite good things about the Fitbit Air if you're interested. Compared to Whoop, there's not like a ridiculous subscription. There is a subscription for it, but it's actually not necessary unless you want the more advanced and of course the AI features. But if you pay the upfront cost of the band, you have that band and you get all the tracking information just by the upfront cost. So I do think I was actually looking into it and I was like, I have an Apple Watch, do I really need this? So I decided against it. But Nvidia is ditching its iconic GPU control panel after 20 years. The driver updates are only shipping in the Nvidia app, and the Nvidia control panel does have some really cool features, and about 20 years of service. Sad to see it getting retired. Okay, the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, has vowed to take decisive action to tackle the impact of social media on UK children. There is rumours of a social media ban for under 16 site that's been done in Australia, and parents are still unconfident whether the UK will actually do good enough implementations or restrictions. Also, Nvidia's first in-house CPU benchmark beats the x86 and ARM chips, but it's only using Nvidia sanctioned tests, so their independent tests have been able to confirm this, and it's always a bit speculative when it's only your tests that have been done when comparing against other products. The devs of Marvel Rivals have came out in a blog post stating that players cannot bypass the anti-cheat system by altering their settings, as the software runs alongside the game, as the option is to disable the pop-up window for the anti-cheat, not disabling the anti-cheat itself. Okay, Pope Leo the 14th warned the risks of AI and unconstrained technology power, releasing his first major manifesto, calling for a new legal and ethical framework to govern AI. It's crazy when even the Pope's speaking about against AI, so that's something. Do I think anything will be done on AI? Probably not, there's too much money involved. But hey. Apparently AI-assisted cheating in job interviews has nearly doubled. The findings based on 20,000 interviews across 2 phases. Around 30% of candidates being flagged for suspicious behaviour. But apparently the second phase of interviews jumped to about 60%, which is crazy. But hey, if you're giving us the tool, everyone's going to be using it. And to end this video, Star Citizen officially crosses the 1 billion funding raised barrier, as the 5,000 spaceships you can't fly in game goes on sale. This game just intrigues me, man. It has a monetization strategy that's so different to any other game, but it's just crazy how much money is working. And apparently Squadron 52 is said to be close to launch, but hey, are they actually gonna release that? And this game is still like not even released like officially, so it's just crazy. So yeah, that's this week's gaming and tech news, and I'll see you in the next one.
Latest gaming and tech news every week, keeping nerds up to date. Yeah, you know the rest.